So here we are down at the side of Keel Hall Lake. And the great thing about having lakes on campus is that we can investigate these lake systems. And lakes are very important because obviously they are habitats, so things live in them, microorganisms, algae, fishes, but also everything around the lake, such as soils and sediments, eventually get washed into the lake system. The other great thing is about lakes is they're effectively natural sediment traps. So as I said, everything that washes into the lake eventually accumulates on the bottom of the lake floor, forming a big mass of sediments. And the great news for us in GGE, in School of Geography, Geology and the Environment, is that means we can go out on a boat, as we have done today, and take a sediment core of mud. So here we've got a sediment core of mud that was released from the edge of a canoe. It went through the water column and it penetrated into the mud, and then we were able to take a sample of that mud at the bottom of the lake. So this means that we can take this back up to the lab and we can effectively go back in time. So we know that the lake here is approximately 20 years old. Well, it was last dredged 20 years ago, so we know that these sediments are 20 years old, but we can go back in time. So the further down this core we go, the further back in time we can look. And we can take sections of this mud at 1 centimetre samples, and we can look at things such as the algae in that mud, which is indicative of the ecosystem and how healthy it is. We can look for things like pollutants. We can look at changes in the chemistry. We can look at changes in the sediments themselves. So, for example, there's lots of soil sediments that may have been washed in during a really rainy event. Or are there even things like microplastics in there that can tell us about how this environment has changed and been affected by human impact?